The Lament of the Forgotten Lake. Imagine being alone at night near a lake so dark it seems to swallow the light. Suddenly, you hear a low, almost human lament whispering your name. And what if, as you look into the water, you see a face that shouldn't be there? Welcome to the channel, where Korean horror stories will shake your heart and soul. Subscribe now and turn on the bell so you don't miss what happens when someone ignores the lake's call. This story will make you tremble, and you won't want to miss what comes next. In a remote village in the mountains of Gangwon-do, South Korea, there lay a lake the locals called the Forgotten. Its waters were so black that not even the sun could pierce them, and a perpetual mist hovered over its surface, as if the air itself feared to approach. The village, once prosperous due to a nearby jade mine, was now a place of whispers and wary glances. The elders told of a secret the lake held, a lament echoing at night, a sad melody that called the living into its depths. No one knew its origin, but everyone knew the rule: never look at the lake after dark. Soo-jin, a young artist from Seoul, came to the village seeking peace. She carried a deep pain, the guilt over her mother's death, who had drowned in an accident years earlier. Soo-jin believed painting the lake might bring her redemption, but something in the air of the village made her feel constantly watched. With every brushstroke on her canvas, the mist seemed to creep closer, and the lake's lament grew clearer, as if it knew who she was. The first night, Soo-jin awoke to the sound of soft crying from the lake. It was unlike anything she had ever heard, a mix of sadness and rage that tightened her chest. Drawn by an unexplainable force, she walked to the shore. Under the moonlight, the water lay still, but a reflection caught her eye. An indistinct figure, a woman with long hair and white eyes, floating just beneath the surface. When Soo-jin leaned closer, the figure vanished. But the lament grew louder, now speaking her name in a tone both pleading and threatening. The next day, she found a jade pendant on the shore, identical to the one her mother used to wear. The discovery shook her, reopening memories of guilt and loss. Did the lake know about her past? Or was it her grief twisting reality into illusions? Have you ever felt an emptiness that wasn't yours? A call pulling you toward something you knew you shouldn't follow? This story is only beginning, and something far more terrifying is coming. Subscribe now, like this video, and share in the comments if you've ever felt something supernatural call out to you. Support our channel with a donation to help us keep bringing you stories that make you look twice into the dark. Let's dive deeper, but be careful where you step. The following nights grew worse. The lament became constant, echoing even during the day, as if the lake itself were alive. Birds no longer sang, villagers avoided her eyes, and in her rented cabin, objects moved on their own, brushes falling, canvases tearing with finger-like marks. One night, she found wet footprints leading to her door, but no one was there. While researching the village's history, Soo-jin discovered that the jade mine once belonged to the Kim family, who grew rich by exploiting workers. Years ago, a young woman named Hae-won, the daughter of a miner, vanished into the lake after protesting against the family. Villagers believed she had become a Mulgwishin, a vengeful water spirit cursed to haunt the lake. But what did this have to do with Soo-jin? And why did her mother's pendant appear there? On the seventh night, Soo-jin decided to face the lament. Armed with a lantern, she returned to the lake, where the chanting was now deafening. The mist felt alive, wrapping around her like cold hands. As she approached the water, she saw the woman's reflection again, clearer this time. Long black hair covering her face, skeletal hands stretching from the water. Soo-jin felt an invisible pull, as if the lake itself wanted to swallow her. The pendant in her pocket grew hot, and for a moment, the reflection changed. It was her mother's face, with white eyes and a silent scream. The air turned icy, her lantern flickered out, and the lament turned into a piercing shriek. The lake roared, waves forming without wind. Shadows danced in the mist, and cold, wet fingers brushed her neck. She ran, but the village paths twisted, houses dark and unfamiliar. The pendant pulsed in her pocket, and the lament was no longer just outside. It echoed inside her mind, fusing with her own guilt. At the height of the night, Soo-jin stumbled and fell onto the lake's shore. The water rose, clutching her ankles like living hands. The Mulguishan emerged fully. Pale skin, hollow eyes, and a twisted, inhuman grin. The lament stopped. The spirit pointed at the pendant. In a flash of memory, Soo-jin saw her mother at the same lake years ago, touching the water, whispering, and then the accident that followed. The lake did not only hold High One's spirit, it held every soul weighed by guilt. Soo-jin crawled away, escaping the water's grasp, but the lake had already claimed her in another way. She returned to Seoul, changed. The lament followed her, now a whisper in her dreams. The pendant, which she threw away, reappeared in her bag days later. The villagers still say the lake sings, waiting for the next soul heavy with regret. But why did the lake choose Soo-jin? Was it truly her mother she saw? Or something far older wearing her face? And what if the next person to hear the lament is you? Moral: the guilt we carry can trap us in places we were never meant to touch. The forgotten lake still lies silent by day, but sings at night. Some say High One seeks vengeance against those who profited from the mine. Others believe the lake mirrors the soul, drawing in those burdened by regret. What did Soo-jin truly see? And why did the pendant return? The truth is submerged, perhaps forever. Would you dare approach a place that knows your darkest secrets? If the story chilled you, subscribe, like, and share your own supernatural experiences in the comments. Your story might be next. Thank you to everyone supporting with donations. You help us keep bringing tales that will haunt you long after the video ends. Beware the next time you walk by a lake at night. If you dare return,